It's such a great honor to be able to raise funds for Living Beyond Breast Cancer organization.
Yes, thank you, Renee, very much for helping us to organize this event. It's for a beautiful cause, and it's always our pleasure to help people.
Earth Hour resonates with my values of being responsible for nature. It is vital for me to ensure a green and great Mother Earth for all generations. I'm inspired to support the movement because I see the impact it has on individuals all around the world. With my 10 million tree planting project adding more impact to it. Earth Hour is important because it allows us to work towards achieving better resources for nature. Tourism and agriculture are the backbones for Tanzania's economy, and they're also nature-based. So if we don't stop climate change now, these sectors will collapse. I believe in the power of unity and that the climate crisis is a matter of urgency.
And welcome to GW3LIVE. We're so excited. Today, it's all about Takeover Thursdays. I don't know if you're ready, but we are so grateful to be here for February 1st, 2024. And not only is it about Black history, it's also about how we're going to manage that biohacking alongside with going beyond with today's segment. It's pretty sensational. We have our incredible co-host that's going to be joining us, Miss GlenDina Greene, alongside with Miss Trellis Thomas, as well as Miss Vee Brown, right after this important message from our sponsors. I'm Renee Knorr, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 Magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar. Hold on, let's see. All right, we are back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can have one of the ladies to unmute, so therefore those in the clubhouse can also hear. You know, we have an incredible panel of co-hosts is going to be joining us today. And hold on to your seats, because not only they are beautiful, but they are very intelligent as well. Our first co-host that's going to be joining us is the one and only Miss GlenDina Greene. Not only is Miss GlenDina Greene originally from the Bahamas, but she's truly one of our newest authors with the GW3 Society, and she's definitely being a trailblazer, changing lives as one of our most influential leaders to watch out for 2024. How are you doing today, Miss GlenDina?
I am doing wonderful and so thankful for this opportunity. When I heard the subject matter, especially that biohacking, I can't wait to dive into the conversation about that. So
awesome.
Thank you as always.
Absolutely. I think we're going to need to have one of the ladies to unmute in the room. Can you do that, please? As it stands right now, if you guys can hear us in the clubhouse, put some hearts in the chat. If you can hear us in the clubhouse, please let us know if you can hear us in the clubhouse. Okay. We are also live on Facebook, and you know how we love technology and technology love us. So that's one of the things I want to ensure. If you can unmute, that'll be awesome. Our next beauty here that's with us is not only smart, she's brilliant. She truly has been able to be a pioneer in helping not only from technology, but also helping to manage personalities with different clients as well. So let's welcome our very own Miss Vee Brown to the stage. How are you doing today, superstar?
Hi, how are you? It's so good to see you. Oh, that purple is so beautiful. It's
Isn't it
gorgeous.
amazing? Well, you look incredible. Yeah.
Hey, it's purple in the store.
I just love it. Just so love it. Well, you know what? We're going to definitely have an opportunity as we welcome one of our other queens to talk more about that purple in the store. Okay, ladies? And truly, this one here, every time she speaks, oh my goodness, she set the streets on fire. You know, not only we're grateful to have Trellis Thomas with us in the space, but also this queen here is going to be dropping some knowledge as well. How are you doing, superstar?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Queens. I am royally blessed. So it is going to be an amazing time. Thank you for the opportunity again to blaze the trail.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I know for sure we want to incorporate the clubhouse alongside with our viewers that's right there on Facebook. And so if we can have just one, if you guys can hear us in the clubhouse, go ahead on and put some purple hearts up if you can hear us in the clubhouse. Let's give it up for the one and only Miss Carrie Hudson, who's definitely been doing an amazing job in the clubhouse. I also see Veronica Atkins in the clubhouse. Oh my goodness. Patrice is there alongside with Merlene, and then our very own Miss Antonia Lawrence and Crystal, who's celebrating her anniversary on the app. Hello, hello to you as well. And then I see Renee Hayes and Kelly. So guys, if you can hear us in the clubhouse, I'm waiting for those purple hearts. So far I don't see any of the purple hearts. So if we don't see the purple hearts, maybe they can't hear us in the clubhouse. So we want to make sure we can get that done. Let's see. Let me just try something. Guys, can you hear us in the clubhouse? Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear us in the clubhouse? It's very quiet in the clubhouse. Can you guys hear us? I heard one person. Carrie, can you hear us in the clubhouse?
I can, but I'm not sure that everyone in the clubhouse can hear me or hear you all by phone. So I'm apologizing.
Okay, not a problem. Let's see. Also, GlenDina, see if you could just unmute. I'm gonna mute mine, so therefore we don't get the feedback. And then what we'll have Miss Carrie to do is mute hers in the clubhouse, and I think that will help without the feedback. So can you unmute your mic? And then that way we should be able to. There we go. Okay. Okay. So let me know if you guys hear feedback. Okay. So guys, we're going to continue on. I'm so happy that everybody's tuning in. We truly don't want the feedback or anything like that. And if you guys hear the feedback, please just send us a text message so therefore we know. As it stands right now, it sounds crystal clear to me. What about you, Lady V? What about you, Trellis? How does it sound?
Crystal clear.
Yeah, sounds crystal clear. And so if you guys are definitely experiencing anything in the clubhouse, just communicate with us so we know how to move. Yes, I can hear you. I am so on YouTube. Oh, wonderful. Great. I see that we have Angela in the house. Oh my goodness. You all are looking royal in the purple. Thank you so very much. Well, you know what, guys, let's do this. You know, before we get started, we're going to go into this deep dive. And first and foremost, I want to say today is, Black History Month, the first day of February. But I like to say this is Black History Year. Okay, this is the season for Black History. So I'm not going to just limit us to this month. we're going to extend it like how we always do, because we got to celebrate each other every single day. But I want to first you guys an opportunity to introduce yourself before we go into this subject matter, and it's going to be very, very profound. Not only we're grateful that we're still working alongside with the man himself, Mr. John C. Maxwell. That's right, John C. Maxwell. We're on chapter 12, where we're focusing on the 15. There you go, Lady V. The 15 invaluable invaluable laws of growth. Guys, this book is like, we need to start sleeping with this one right here, because we're learning so much from it. And what we're going to talk about also is the infusion of how, even with Black history, how we know certain pioneers, certain iconic individuals have been able to utilize that rubber band effect, the chapter that we're on, to be able to press through and to live a life that was just not average, but extraordinary. But before we get into that subject matter, why don't you go ahead on and introduce yourself? We're going to go with GlenDina first, and then we'll take it over to Lady V, and then, of course, we'll close out with Miss Trellis. Thank you so very much, ladies.
Blessings to everyone. So my name is GlenDina Greene, and I studied in the area of psychology and with a concentration of forensic psychology. So definitely have an understanding of human behavior and how that works. I just became the recent author of the book called In a Cage with a Door Wide Open, Set Free, because it's definitely about that mental freedom that we all need in order for us to function at our optimum level and, of course, display emotional intelligence. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Valerie Brown. I go by Lady V. I've spent 21 years working in the utility industry, and I am recently retired. I am also getting feedback. Let me go ahead and figure that one out. I am also an author. I have a book out there on Amazon. It's called it's called The Success Blueprint Before the Climb Begins. I will make sure and put that link in the chat on Clubhouse when I get back over there. Let's see. I am also into digital marketing right now. And I am also into helping people get their ebooks out there. I'm not an established publisher, but I believe that once you get that first ebook out there, it really begins the process and helps you to move forward to other things. So right now, I do have a passion for helping people get their first little manuscript, their first little script out there so that they can get started. Right now, I'm also exploring a whole lot of other things, and hopefully, after reading this, I'll have a couple more things I can add. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good, grand, triumphant, transcendent Thursday to all. My name is Trellis. I had to add my purple glasses because that's my favorite color. I am a Kingdom Servant Leader. I am a National Empowerment Speaker, clinical nurse, case manager, supervisor, a Grammy, a certified Christian mental health and transformational life coach. I assist and mentor girls and women of all ages to operate and step into their queendom identities, taking dominion and authority right where they are. I am a best-selling Amazon author of the empowerment anthology, Unapologetically Brave, and my chapter is Queenly, Qualified, Powerful, and Peculiar, and I will drop that link to the empowerment anthology as well, because, you know, if your mind isn't right, nothing else works. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, one of the things I would like to share, they're not able to hear us in the clubhouse. It seems as if we're definitely having some technical difficulties there. So I know for sure of those that are in the clubhouse, if you guys can click on the link. However, it would be great if we can hear. You know what, Lady V, do me a favor. Can you just unmute in the clubhouse? So then that way, yeah, we just need one person to unmute in the clubhouse, and then okay, there you go. Carrie did it.
Getting a little feedback. Let me mute this one.
Okay, yes. Okay, so Carrie, are you gonna, okay, that's it. Can you hear Carrie? Okay.
I'm trying, Queen.
Okay, so let's go ahead on with Lady V. No, that's okay, beautiful. I love you. I love you. Let's go ahead on with Lady V for right now. So therefore we can have the sound. Go ahead, Lady V. That way we want to make sure they can hear us also in the clubhouse. Guys, go ahead on and put some purple hearts up. You know, the great opportunity for us to be able to bring these phenomenal women together, as well as, you know, in our community. It's not just for women, it's for men alongside with our younger leaders. It's always shining the spotlight on those. And I'm so excited in regard to this subject matter. I'm very excited about today. And truly, I think not only is it something that's going to give us an opportunity to have really deep dive conversations, but, you know, just a journey into the realms of our self-improvement, pushing boundaries, as well as unlocking the extraordinary that we've been able to embark upon. And I'll say this, guys, this chapter here that we're on with, and not only with Mr. John C. Maxwell, but the chapter in our lives, guys. Let's talk about the chapters that's right here in our lives. I know for sure we are not only taking over Thursday, it's Biohacking and beyond. Oh my goodness, guys. So with that, not only is it going to give us an opportunity to embark upon, you know, Black History Month, alongside the wisdom of the 15 invaluable laws of growth, thanks to Mr. John C. Maxwell, but also give us an opportunity to talk about the law of that rubber band. It reminds us, you know, from not only from growth, when we lose that tension, and we're going to talk about that one, Trellis, because I know you were speaking about that earlier, that tension between where we are and then where we could be. Sometimes people don't understand that stretch effect is so important. You know, I think even yesterday I did that. You got to stretch so, you got to really like extend that body out. And one of the things you think about with the rubber band, once you stretch that rubber band, once you stretch it, it doesn't go back to that original form. So not only throughout the stretching, even when you think about our African Americans that we're celebrating today, and how we're going to reflect upon some of them that literally had to stretch themselves in order to be where they're not only remembered, they are unforgettable. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about maybe one of those iconic memories that we can remember, who's been able to stretch themselves. And we'll start with you, GlenDina. Who would you like to share with us for Black History Month that's been able to impact your life? Please.
So I am going to share what I shared earlier in the clubhouse, which is Harriet Tubman, because she was a warrior within herself. Her message was a message of freedom, setting so many people free. She was a spy. And, you know, the mental fortitude is another thing, you know, that it just gave me that extra energy when I heard that this month was Black Friday, because I needed that extra fire. And when you reflect upon what they've been through, I mean, we go through in this season too, but it just gives you that extra fire to push even harder and to take that baton further, because we're building on that legacy and there's definitely work to be done. And if I could say, if any one of those leaders were here now, after us coming this far in slavery, I believe that they would want us to take it a little bit further and more have a global impact as it relates to slavery. So I think saving humanity and the freedom of humanity is something that we can all do collectively. So that is my take.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Lady V will be up next. And, you know, thank you so very much, GlenDina, not only for that take, but also for just pouring in, because truly, when you think about Harriet Tubman, she was truly, you know, not only iconic, it took so much courage, you know, to even just really break those barriers without even having anyone to give her an example. She didn't know. She really didn't know. So not only did she have to have faith, she had to have such a strong belief system that no matter what, she was going to reach that goal. Because she knew that was something else. How many of you guys feel that way? You know that there's something else, and you know you have to put yourself in position. So therefore you can literally just see what's on the other side. Just see what's on the other side. So Lady V, pour into the conversation. Who would be one of those individuals that you would like to recognize?
If I had to recognize anyone, my hero has always been Stagecoach Mary. Stagecoach Mary, I don't know if you're familiar with it, and I barely kind of remembering some of this stuff off the top of my head, but she started with the United States Postal Service, delivering mail on horseback, rain, sleet, snow, hail, didn't matter. And she won that job. She was already in her 50s, I believe, when she applied for the job. And she was able to hitch a 2-horse stagecoach faster than her Caucasian male competitors. And that's how she got the job in her 50s, in her late 50s. And she ran that job and never missed a day. Snow, hail, sleet. I mean, this Black woman was fierce, so fierce that this town ended up naming, they have a day after her, Stagecoach Mary. I implore everybody to look that up, because this woman was a hero. Not only was she a hero in the Black community, but at her age, she did what she had to do. So she's always been my hero.
Powerful, powerful share. You know what? I'm telling you, this is my first time hearing about her. So
Stagecoach Mary.
Yes,
Yes.
Stagecoach Mary. Guys,
Yeah.
put that in the chat, because you want to make sure that you look up these individuals. I know, we know some of the familiar ones. And, the great part about it, there's so many, right? There are so many with just incredible legacies that we could just really, not only that we can grab hold to, but we can learn from as well. One of the things we did with our book club, we read the Black Fortunes. Black Fortunes is an incredible book that speak about not only 6 incredible icons throughout the years. These 6 icons have been able to be transformative. They became the first millionaires across the board. And of course, some of us, we know about the CJ Madam Walker, who was the first African-American woman who was a self-made millionaire. She started the whole network marketing business. And a lot of us don't even realize how her movement just really helped to shape and transform women. She's such a powerful, powerful leader. I know right here in the Atlanta area, we have an opportunity of looking at her museum. And you know what, guys? That's the key right there. Being able to break those barriers. When you think about each one of those icons, they literally didn't have any examples. They saw it where they knew that they were going to be able to just by trusting in just moving, that something else could come out of it. They didn't know that they were breaking barriers. They had no idea. Think about that. But one thing we know for sure, we're grateful for their examples in living their lives with intentions as well. Now, Trellis, bring it on, beautiful. I know you're going to drop a mic and we're going into who is one of those icons that you also look up to. Please share. You have to unmute, Trellis. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, just speak. Oh, she can't hear what I just said.
I'm gonna leave out and come back in the studio.
Okay, don't you just love technology? Oh my goodness. So you can. Okay. Let's just put it in the chat for also if we need to do that. One of the other icons that I spoke about this morning, Mr. John H. Johnson with Ebony Fashion Fair. He was not only the first pioneer, where it relates to media. Oh my goodness. This icon here, he knew he had to be able to report on what was happening within the African American community. Again, he started out his route as a paperboy, right? But then he saw something that was even more profound. And so not only we're grateful for Mr. John H. Johnson, who is definitely the creator of Ebony Fashion Fair, he's the creator of Ebony alongside with his wife, Eunice Johnson, with Ebony Fashion Fair. But we know he started his journey by asking his mother, could he borrow her furniture? Think about this, guys. Back in the day, they didn't have much. However, he asked her, could he use the furniture so therefore he can go and get a loan to start his business? Not only did she say yes, that was a $500 investment that he poured into his vision, but it helped him to propel and grow the operation, the empire, to over $52 million, guys. In addition to that, he had changed so many lives. When you think about some of the incredible stories, he was the one that was able to bring them to life. And you remember back in those days, not a lot of people literally had access to newspaper. So literally they were getting the news. Think about this, guys, late. They were literally getting news maybe like 2 or 3 weeks late. And look at what we're dealing with today in now time. So we're going to talk about some of the things that we've been able to propel with our with the journey, with this whole biotech, as well as how we've been able to go beyond. But we love to hear from you, Trellis, with your incredible takeaway in regarding to who is that iconic figure that you want to pour into.
I would like to pour into, as I did earlier, Diane Carroll. Not only do we share the same birth date, but she is a woman of excellence, grace, beauty, inside and out, just confidence. And and she was a woman of first, the first African American woman to have a sitcom, Julia, that she played a nurse raising a son on her own. And so not only that, she remained relevant. If you remember her, she was Whitley's mom. I forgot to mention this morning in Different World, and the iconic role that she had playing that, and Dynasty, coming into just, I mean, taking the show by storm. And so as I studied her life, she was just simply amazing in so many ways, activist in the civil rights, and the stars that she held arm in arm with fighting for civil rights. So being a woman of first, that is what I strive to be, a woman of first. And I am. I'm the first best-selling author in my family. So I really love the life that she displayed, not only on camera, but off camera.
Absolutely, guys. Let's put some purple hearts up. Oh my goodness. I just love how you guys just pour it in. And not only to those individuals, but I mean, we could go on and on and on. And for those who are watching, whether you're in the clubhouse or you're right there on YouTube or also in the Facebook, we want to know who have been some of those icon figures that have also transformed your life. This is our season to not only to elevate our heritage, but also to be excited about the cultural of what we have been able to accomplish, guys, of what we've been able to accomplish. One of the things about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which we celebrated his birthday also in January, as he said, I might not be there by the time you guys see the promised land, but one thing for sure, my vision will help you guys to get there. And that was that dream that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had. Not only was he a pioneer, he was an iconic figure. Because of him, look at all the other opportunities and all the other hopes that he's been able to pour into our young men, our leaders. And so, guys, as we're here breaking barriers, we are being unstoppable. Trellis, I love how you just said, I'm the first. Let's talk about how we're going to continue on breaking more barriers within our season. This is not only a time, 2024, for infinite, but this is also a time for excellence. So Lady V, how are you going to be breaking more barriers with what you have to do?
My plan for breaking barriers, honestly, is to help other people break barriers. That's what I would like to do in 2024 is try to help other people move forward too. And it seems like, I'm kind of feel like I'm at that Solomon stage where, all is folly. And the only thing that matters is what really matters is God in your heart and helping people get forward. So those are the barriers that I'm hoping to break in 2024.
I think that's not only profound, but that's the purpose of why we're here. God really asks us to do something. And with that, showing others how we can really come together, support each other, collaborate, and also to shine the spotlight on each other. So I love what you just shared with us, Lady V. Miss GlenDina, how are you breaking barriers?
I am breaking barriers because now I am a part of a collective group of warriors that there are several terms that I love to use. I want to use the word sniper. I also like that word biohacking because, where you don't have access when you're hacking something. And I believe, as ladies, that is what we're doing. We're not only are we hacking, but we're hijacking each other's life because we're making infiltration. When you do a biohack on a cellular level, that wasn't able to be done a few years ago. When you said the word biohack, I'm like, on which level? Are we doing it on a cellular level? Because when you do a biohack, that means you're able to infiltrate the membrane of a cell. And when you can infiltrate somebody's membrane, you're definitely changing their genetic makeup and you're making a big difference. And that's what this Global Women Wealth Warriors has done for my life. I'm telling you, I've gone through such a transformation and such a metamorphosis. I am grateful to God that I have my voice back. That is some of the things that I talk about, throughout my journey. So that biohacking and that sniper, because sometimes you got to move silently in order to kill those enemies that think you don't see them. But when you're a sniper, you have the eye of an eagle. So
I love that. I think last month we talked about gladiators. Now we're snipers. Okay. Warriors. I just love it.
Yeah, we gotta be snipers as a warrior.
Yeah. I know a sniper, guys. I know a sniper who used to snipe. He used to take care of it. Back in Vietnam, I know a sniper, and he had to have that laser eye, precision. When you think about a sniper, the characteristics that they have to have. And also, they, like you said, they got to move with such precision. They have to be so focused on that target. So I do like that. That's a new one for us, ladies. I love it. Miss Trellis, I know you're breaking barriers. You already indicated a couple of areas of what you're doing, but how are you continuously with this growth as well as with this journey in your life?
The barriers that I want to break and help people realize to remove the barriers on their life is that helping them realize that servanthood through excellence is the greatest posture you can take. It propels you. And when I heard the teaching, I listened to it last night by John Maxwell. I got a rubber band and I started stretching it. I think I talked to you about that last night. I started stretching it, and if you sit still before God and you release the rubber band, it goes nowhere but up. And so as we break barriers, as we allow people to realize that the only barrier is your mindset, there's nothing that you can do, because God said that He came to give us life and life more abundantly. And then when I saw the topic about biohacking, it's like when I looked it up, it's making, as I always say, success is not overnight. It's a series of daily decisions that you make to get you where you want to be tomorrow. But first, it starts with an internal shift. And so we have to decide, each one of us, and I've decided to biohack and make the necessary adjustments to shift inwardly, to remove myself from a life of mediocrity and move myself into a shift of living intentional excellence and teaching others to do so.
Let's go. Put some more purple hearts in the chat. You know, those were some of those words were just perfect for not only where we are, however, also where we're growing and how we're becoming. If you think about even with chapter 10 with John C. Maxwell, what we're on right now, it says growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. Where you could be. You see, that's the piece right there. A lot of people don't even understand the possibilities of where they could be. And so when you think about the resiliency that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had, when you think about the tenacity that Oprah Winfrey had when they didn't even want her on television, when you think about some of those like Nelson Mandela, oh my goodness, Nelson Mandela and so many others, the courageous efforts that they took, it started by how, what you just said, Trellis, one step at a time, one small step at a time. But they kept the consistency. They knew that focus of that laser. That it's like you have to literally identify where you're going, and all you see is that direction. That's all you see. And I share this with the team as well. It's not really about our plan. It's always about his master plan. Okay. The master plan is not perfect. There's no way in the world is it perfect, because he needs to make sure you can go through something so you can grow through it. And that's one of the things I appreciate in this journey that we're on. So let's talk about this also, because we notice just with technology, as well as with just our advancement with our health, also with our wealth, so many things have been affected. But one of the things that we can really embrace and embody is how we definitely look at things from day to day. So tell us, starting with you, Lady V, what are some of the regimens that you do? You take, it's like one of those non-negotiables with your journey. What are some of your non-negotiables?
Well, non-negotiables with health, my vitamins. I definitely take D3. You know, D3, us African Americans and vitamin D3, you know, diabetes, just so many issues because we lack vitamin D in our systems. You know, our skin was made for the sun of Africa to get all that vitamin D and to, so we get here where we're not getting the sun we're used that our melanin needs. And so we're suffering for it. Get your vitamin Ds. So that's my non-negotiable is making sure I take my supplements.
How many of you guys realize how much vitamin D we need? Come on now.
We need so much.
You know, when I travel to California, I see why you live in California. The California sun is no joke. My skin just glistens totally different when I'm over there, Lady V. So I truly understand that. You know, I must say I have to do better in getting more vitamin D as well, because sometimes we get to be like homebodies. And so if you don't travel and you don't really get that vitamin D, your body starts doing some resistance as well. You start seeing certain things. And so guys, please get more vitamin D, and I would say this, get more of the natural vitamin D in your system if you possibly can. Like today is beautiful outside. I don't know where you are, but here in Atlanta, I'm going to go get some vitamin D. Thanks, Ms. Lady V. I appreciate that. GlenDina, please pour in.
So for me, it will be the mental health, checking on where you are mentally. And sometimes that may mean facing your fear. When we talk about that rubber band, we can look at that young David who had that slingshot and he faced that Goliath and he took him out. So sometimes we got to make sure that we're taking out those mental giants in our life and not running away from it. So definitely facing my fears and doing that mental self-check is something that becomes so vital from day to day, because it's going to really affect how you interact with others. So, that would be my takeaway.
I like that. We have to prepare our mindset for, like you said, those obstacles that come, those unforeseens that come, and being able to navigate properly once they appear. I mean, how many of you guys have had to navigate through something just this year alone? We're just January, just saying hello to February. Did you guys have to navigate through something in the month of December? I mean, in the month of January? I know I did. I truly had to. And like you said, you got to keep that mindset, so you can stay in control. So therefore you can really understand certain things in your journey. I would say this too, because Trellis, you can expand upon this as well. Sometimes they're placed in your journey intentional. They're placed in your journey intentional to just see how you're going to respond to them, how you're going to react to certain things. One of the things I realized after going through a moment of just really being quiet for 3 years, I don't react to things the way I used to react to things anymore, Trellis. I am so protecting my peace of mind. And that is something that's so important, ladies, especially ladies, because we know we suffer from heart attacks. Women are the number one to get heart attacks because we got so much, we carry so many different bags. We talked about that yesterday. We are carrying so much on ourselves. And sometimes we have to realize we have to release everybody else's problems. So therefore we can literally take care of our own. So Miss Trellis, please pour in. Love to hear from you.
For me, it is about cultivating peace, cultivating an atmosphere where I want to thrive in, and eliminating everything and everyone, quite frankly and boldly, that does not allow me to cultivate that. Because not only are you what you want to attract, you have to become what you believe. It's not just enough to believe it and you're not putting any action to it. So for me, my mental health, especially my spiritual health, is my priority. I don't have to engage into toxic things that are not benefiting me, that are not leaving me better. As I said the other day, I am only connecting with people that are depositing, and I'm reciprocating that. Because if you have in your life people that are taking, that you have more withdrawals when you can look back than you do deposits, then that affects you in ways that you don't even understand. And so it comes by drawing some hard lines in the sand and saying, I love you, but I'm going to have to disconnect from you. And so for me, peace is priceless. There's not enough money in the world that can buy peace. And until you cultivate that within, you can't demonstrate it without. So for me, mental, spiritual, and emotional health comes along with having physical health, because it's a domino effect. And if there is no balance in your life, something is going to be affected that can be seen. And so nothing is more important to me to establishing those boundaries. And even when I didn't realize it in my 20s, being a woman, not knowing why I had these boundaries, but knew they were necessary. Because what you do when you're young affects your body, your mind, your spirit as you become more vintage. I don't like to say old, but more vintage. So you got to make some decisions, not only for you, but for your entire well-being and what you want to cultivate and you want to be demonstrated to others.
I love it. I love it. I thought it was legendary, but I'll take vintage any day of the week as well, right, Lady V? Another hashtag vintage, all right? Absolutely. Oh my God. Guys, this is just so powerful. If you guys enjoying these conversations, make sure you put some hearts up in the chat as well. This is how we really connect with who we are. And again, we first got to identify just that, the identity of our authentication of who we are, in order for us to be able to move ourselves in the direction that he needs for us to move, standing in alignment with his divine purpose for our lives as well. And remember, guys, we don't chase after anyone. We don't chase after anything at all. The only thing we're chasing after for 2024 is God's grace, okay? Nothing but God's grace. When you think about this word, guys, and the energy that we have here, we're going to continue on building stronger legacies. And while we're in this position of being able to provide opportunities, that's what we've been able to do with the Global Women Wealth Wars GW3 Society. Guys, do you realize this 2024 is it's just giving me so much energy. It really is. You know, when we're talking about Africa, when we're speaking about these different icons who've been able to move and transcend with different breaking barriers for our purpose. One of the things I remember, John Lewis, before he left, as he was saying his farewells to the country, he was right there in Washington, D.C. He said, I've taken us as far as I can go. It's time for you to do your part. He was right there with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was walking alongside with Ambassador Andrew Young. So guys, with this season that we're in, not only are we going to be able to be bold, we got to stay bold. We got to embrace, not only the courage that it's going to take for us to pursue our wildest dreams, but we have to make sure those dreams can come to fruition, because that's it. Those dreams, we could dream all day long, but until we're able to implement, apply, and take the action, we'll just be dreaming. That's almost like knowledge. Knowledge is nothing unless you implement and you take action. So knowledge is not power. Knowledge is what you're able to do with that knowledge and being able to help to impact other lives. And that's some of the things that we're learning right now today. We know the importance of learning continuously. I say every day we have to be learning, because when you seek that knowledge, it allows us to be able to overcome and just really give us a new perspective on life, on our journeys. One of the things I love to say though, guys, we are fearless. Somebody put that in the chat. We have been able to adapt that fearlessness because it's needed in order for us to embrace the unknown, the areas that we haven't even yet tapped into. And as we know, we got to move forward stronger. We have to really keep those setbacks right where they are, right, Trellis, in the back of us. We need to propel to where we're going, because that's the only way we're going to take not only the knowledge that we have, but we're going to kindle that flame. Oh, we're going to ignite the flame inside of us, that passion. And without that, guys, I'm going to tell you, you could just go right back to sleep. And I like when I wake up, I know my neighbor's like, she's up again. Oh my goodness. I come up and I'm like ready to roar. So guys, I want us to embrace this journey, knowing that we have the vibration, we have the vitality. We are truly going to stay alert about this mission, because it's not just a month for Black history. It's the entire 365 days for us. Okay, guys? So, Miss, I see you over there, Trellis. You want to say something? Go right on here, beautiful.
Listen, I was just sitting on the seat of my office chair. You are so right, because one of the principles, as I was listening, and I had to listen to it twice, and then after I had a chance to marinate on it, and then when we talked last night, it's just the energy that when I answered the phone, that was immediately magnetic and connecting. Listen, we have to stop making excuses. I heard one of my dear friends say, he gave an acronym for fear, and it's Dr. Lorenzo. He comes in the clubhouse sometimes and he has his own room. He said that fear is finding excuses and reasons not to become all God has created you to be. And so that thing resonated for me. You have to go from wishing to make it a reality. You have to go from wanting to obtaining. And you have to go from waiting to getting up and doing what you need to do, and shifting the atmosphere and leaving procrastination and stagnation and eliminating, and go get, like Mary says, go get it. Go get your blessings. That's one of my songs I listen to every morning to get me pumped up. And like you said, not only do our neighbors say, oh my gosh, she's up again. The enemy is saying, ooh, Lady V up again. GlenDina up again. Queen Renee is up again. Trellis is up again. Those that are on YouTube and in Clubhouse and on Facebook. My children, they up again. They up again. And so when you understand that we become unstoppable, and listen, let me tell you, God is going to stretch us to take us where we've never been. Because if you want what you never had, you got to do things that you've never done. So if you can stand to be stretched, you can stand to be blessed and be a blessing to others. Woo.
Woo! Bringing it in. Put some fire emojis in the chat. Come on now. Fire emojis. Please put some fire emojis in the chat. I told you guys, we're bringing the heat. We are bringing the heat. Miss GlenDina, you want to pour in?
Yes, and so I would definitely agree that, the enemy gets mad the minute our foot hits the ground because we get going. And, this topic, takeover, that is exactly what's happening. It's a takeover. It's a mental takeover. It's a health takeover. It's a take back of our environment. It's a take back of everything that we have lost. Anything that you've lost, God say He is a restorer of time. He is a restorer of the breach. He will repair the waste places. And when we come together, that togetherness is so powerful. It becomes an invasion. Each and every person, every single person, from you, Queen Renee, to Queen Vee, to Queen Trellis, has made deposits in the lives, in my life, and in the lives of everybody. And to know that we're going to now be able to take that globally and be effective, and not only in every state, but on countries all across this globe as a global women wealth warrior that includes man and young, coming with this type of energy and this type of fire, and we understand unity and connection, and there's no gaps, there's no breach, there's no strife. We're not striving, there's no jostling for positions. Then we are a powerful force, of course, to be reckoned with. And we call our clubhouse room the Praying It Forward room, and we're in there from 8:00 a.m. to 10 o'clock Monday through Friday. And then we come back in, spontaneously on Sundays to make an impact. And then on Saturdays, we're teaching master classes. We are growing, we are expanding, we're making room. One of the things God brought to my mind is that those vessels that God said, go get vessels and fill them up with oil. And it's how much you believe that God can give you for you to go and get vessels, so that, like Queen Vee said, you can have enough, more than enough to give to others. Because when you're pouring out, when you're overflowing, that means you have something to give. And that's what we're being able to do, Queen Renee, for your beautiful organization that you've created here for everybody. 1 billion people is the goal, for everybody to be a part. And we're going to see every profession being demonstrated, every race, people from all cultures, people from all ethnicities. And like I said, I believe that our greats were here. I'm talking about those people that, that died for our freedom. If they were here, they would definitely expand it. Because as we become free, we have to free others. We have to free humanity, mentally, physically, emotionally, and so forth. So thank you again. I'm just inspired. I'm inspired by this group of women. So now that my voice can be heard, I'm ready.
We need that. We need that. Guys, when we first met GlenDina, she was like, get out of here. I'm like, what did you say? I said, speak from your chest. Put it out there and listen to her right now. Standing at 12 feet tall, right, Lady Vee? 12 feet tall and nothing but power, and so grateful that you realize your value and your power. That's really what it's all about. Standing tall and being it right now, guys. Think about this. This episode within itself, it has been like a catalyst. It literally is a catalyst in regard to this movement that we have and the fusion that we're taking to bring about not only experiences, not only about life legacy, but also how we're taking the wisdom that now we have to be able to propel ourselves to new territories. And I know, Lady Vee, we want to hear from you as well before we close out this segment. Please pour in.
I'm just so inspired. I'm so inspired by, hearing GlenDina. She said, my voice is here and she's ready to use it. I'm so inspired by Trellis letting us know that, hey, it is everything. I just love everything you always say. And thank you, Renee, for once again for providing the platform to help women grow. You are, you want to talk about icons, and nobody wants to think about this, but you're a legacy already. So thank you. And that's all I have to say. I'm just glad to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, thank you as well. And we have just made history, ladies. Let this episode not only be, as I said, the catalyst, but it's a personal transformation. This is a personal revolution. That's what I feel like. It's a revolution. That's a better word right there. And for those who've been able to join the GW3 Live, this is our Takeover Thursday, where not only with the history where we met with our health and our wealth, but you know what, guys? We're talking about legacy. We're talking about how our journeys of us getting right back into the heart of where God needed for us to be, because everything we're connecting is through the Spirit. Everything that we're doing is being connected through the Spirit. And that's one of the things, even just within our whole African American history, the Spirit, man, just so profound what they were able to accomplish without even seeing the full staircase. So with what they were able to accomplish, just imagine what we are now able to do with technology, with resources, with the collectiveness of being able to support one another without having somebody on our shoulders or over our back or telling us that they're going to kill us or whatever the case may be. So guys, we got to go to work. Are you guys ready to go to work? Are you ready to go to work? Because our ancestors have taken us as far as they were able to take us. So now it's time for us to create our very own legacy, so therefore we can take others to their next level. And I think automatically that's a yes all the way across the board. Is that right, guys?
Yes,
Listen,
yes.
yes,
Yes.
we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. They saw us. And so, like you said, they've taken us. Now it's up to us to pick up the torch and light the fire.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, in my closing today, I would like for you guys to focus on that one word. What is that one word that you are literally going to stand so firm and committed to for 2024? We'll start with you first, GlenDina.
So my one word was catalyst, 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 because God is not only adding extra and speeding up the process, but he's just catapulting us all into our destiny and into our purpose. And I am taking the challenge. So thank you.
My word is consistency. The root of all of it, the root of everything that we want to reach for, that we want to achieve, is consistency. So that's going to be my word for 2024.
For me, I actually have a foundational word, which is for 2024, grace. But God also spoke to me, impact, elevation, and expansion, knowing that the grace of God takes you where human strength and power never could. And so I unapologetically receive the abundant grace of God and extend that abundant grace to others to propel them to where they need to go.
And you guys already know our word for 2024 is expansion. That's right, expansion. Because right now we are truly expanding not only our environment, but we're also expanding our bandwidth right here. Our mind is giving us the opportunity to utilize everything, so therefore we can reach our full potential. And I'm so grateful that this journey that we are on, we're doing it together. So guys, let's continue on elevating others around us. Let's continue on, like GlenDina said, helping those who don't have a voice, because that's where they really are going to be able to step into their greatness once they're able to understand what their purpose is. And sometimes we just need to guide them. A lot of people right now just need a little bit of guidance and encouragement too. So guys, I'm so excited. Thank you so very much for joining us for this GW3. I could call it an exclusive. The first day of February for African American Month, alongside with the man himself, Mr. John C. Maxwell. Guys, we are on, that was chapter 10 that we're talking about, that whole rubber band. Oh man, guys, if you haven't read this book, I highly encourage you guys to do so. For the GW3 Society, we know we have 52 books this year, baby. Yes. And it feels great just going through the first 4 just already, you know, becoming, alongside with this one right here. I think I need to read this book again, Ms. V, because it's just so good. It really, really is so good. And thanks again to John C. Maxwell for everything that he's been able to do as well. And just getting us the opportunity to see ourselves totally different. What a great way to start off this year. That's right, a great way to start off with this year for your own personal growth. Remember, guys, we are here, the community that truly want to see you win. If you haven't already DM us with your information, please do so. Whether you want to reach out to Lady V, GlenDina, or even Trellis, we love to hear from you. And you know what? Make sure you put in the comments how we can get in contact with you. Well, ladies, we know it's time for us to go right back into the clubhouse. So we're going to roll our shoulders back and we're going to keep our heads up high. It's time for us to go and blaze the universe. Why? Because the world needs another game changer. And that game changer is who? YOU. So thank you again for joining us for this week's episode for Takeover Thursday. Woo! Wait until you see tomorrow. We are bringing the men back. Oh my goodness. Yes, we are. We got the Tom Ford Black and White Fridays that's going to be with us. And my goodness, we have Mr. Xavier Gomez that's going to be with us, alongside with Brandon that's going to be with us, as well as Sean Landrum. So we got the men coming, guys, all right? In addition to that, we're going to be featuring Miss Angela Sport, alongside with Miss Crystal Tremack. So it's going to be incredible. A wonderful lineup. You surely want to stay tuned in. 9 a.m. We definitely want to see you. Again, we look forward to seeing you on the other side of your greatness. Bye for now.